I found a lipstick in my car that wasn't mine. My boyfriend said it was old. I checked the batch code. It came out last month. He still denied everything until I sent the receipt to his mom. She called me back and said, "Come over. I have something to show you." This started 3 months ago. A random Wednesday. I was running late for work, grabbed my coffee, rushed out the door. I dropped my keys in the car right between the seats. I reached down to fish them out, and that's when I felt it. Something smooth and round. Pulled it up. Lipstick. Not mine. Now, I don't wear bold colors. I'm more into soft pinks, beige tones. This was bright. Red. Like confidence red. The kind of color that screams date night, not office Zoom call. I sat there for a second, just staring at it. I checked the bottom. It had a tiny code on it. At that moment, I didn't think much. I threw it in the glove box and went to work. That night, Tyler came over. My boyfriend of 2 years. Solid guy. Or so I thought. I brought it up casually while we were eating Thai on the couch. "Hey, this was in the car," I said, holding up the lipstick. He glanced at it, then shrugged. "Must be old. Maybe Olivia's. Remember when we went to the lake last summer?" He went back to his pad CEW like it was nothing. I smiled, nodded, let it go. But something in me shifted. It was the way he didn't even blink. Didn't really look at it. Just dismissed it too fast. I started going over things in my head. The times he canceled on me last minute. Said he had meetings that ran late. Times he seemed weird about me using his phone to check the time. I couldn't let it go. That weekend, I cleaned out my car like I always do. Found nothing else. Just that lipstick. I still had it. I looked up the brand. It wasn't drugstore cheap either. Mid-range, maybe $25 or so. I found a website where you could check the batch code to see when it was made. Typed it in. Manufactured in January. This year. We were in February. So I texted him again. "Hey, I checked the batch code. It's from last month." His reply? "Weird. Maybe Olivia bought a new one and forgot it in there. She rides with us sometimes. She doesn't. She's been in my car once. Last summer. He knows I clean it all the time." I didn't fight him. I just said, "Okay." Then I started digging. I went to Ulta the next day, showed them the lipstick, asked if they had it. They did. Exact match. I asked if they could tell me how long they'd been carrying it. The woman at the counter printed me a fake reprint receipt, so I could return it if needed. It had the item name, SKU, and showed it had only been stocked since mid-January. Now I had something solid. Not proof of cheating, but proof that he lied. And here's where I did something different. I sent that receipt and a photo of the lipstick to his mom. Why? Because Jean had always liked me. Told me I was like the daughter she never had. We'd made Christmas cookies together. She gave me a birthday card every year with a handwritten note. When my dad passed last year, she sat with me at the funeral while Tyler stood outside taking calls. She had to know what kind of son she raised. I don't know if I wanted her to talk to him or what. I just didn't want to feel like I was going crazy. A few hours later, she called. Her voice wasn't angry. It wasn't surprised either. She just said, "Can you come over?" I asked, "Is everything okay?" She paused. "Just come over. I have something to show you." I drove to her house that same night. It was dark when I pulled up. She was already waiting at the door. No smile. No small talk. She just opened it and said, "Come in." I stepped inside, and she closed the door behind me. "Sit down," she said, pointing to the couch in the living room. I sat. Jean walked into the kitchen, came back with a shoebox. An old Nike box. She sat next to me and put it on the coffee table. Her hands were shaking a little as she took the lid off. Inside were photos. A stack of envelopes. And receipts. A whole pile of them. She picked up one of the envelopes and handed it to me. My name was on it. "This came in the mail 3 weeks ago. I didn't know if I should give it to you." I opened it. It was a photo. Tyler. In a restaurant. Holding hands with another woman. Her face was turned, but his wasn't. Clear as day. It wasn't just a dinner. It looked romantic. Intimate. My chest tightened. Jean reached into the box again and pulled out more photos. Different women. One in a bikini by a pool. Another sitting in what looked like his apartment, my throw blanket in the background. I found these a month ago when I went over to water his plants, she said. He left the closet open. I guess he didn't think I'd look. I just stared at the pictures. All of them. One after another. All recent. I didn't know how to tell you, she said. But then you sent me that receipt. And I realized it's still happening. I asked her how long she'd known. She said she started getting suspicious last summer. Said he'd lie about where he was. Miss her birthday. Not show up to Sunday dinners. He's been different, she said. Cold. Mean, even. And then she looked at me, her eyes red. I think he's doing what his father did. And I let it go back then. I didn't stop it. I won't make that mistake again. She gave me the whole box. I drove home shaking, sat in my living room with it all spread out on the floor. I didn't cry. I felt empty. Numb. I didn't text him. Not that night. Not the next morning. But I started planning. By the next day, I knew what I was going to do. I wasn't just going to confront him. I wanted him to feel what I felt. Not just betrayed, but watched. Cornered. Like there was nowhere left to run. So I played along for a bit. I texted him that morning like everything was normal. Hey babe, wanna come over Friday night? I'll cook. He replied in minutes. Absolutely. I'll bring wine. Miss you, fake smile. Fake love. That Friday, I cooked. Lasagna. His favorite. I lit a candle. Put on music. I acted like nothing was wrong. Meanwhile, the box from his mom was sitting under my bed. After dinner, we sat on the couch. He put his arm around me. I've been thinking about taking a trip, he said. Just us. You've been stressed. Maybe New Orleans? I laughed. That sounds great. I kissed him. Let him sleep over. He even left his phone charging in my kitchen. I didn't go through it. I didn't need to. I had what I needed. But then something happened that shifted everything. The next morning, I was making coffee when I saw his phone buzz. A text. From a name I didn't recognize. Elise, she wrote. Last night was amazing. Wish I could have stayed longer. Still smell like you. My hand went cold on the mug. He came into the kitchen, rubbing his eyes. I slid his phone toward him. You have a text. He glanced at it. Paused. Then smiled. Crazy ex, he said. She's been stalking me for months. I told you about her. He hadn't. I just nodded. Then he said he had to run work stuff. He left by 10. And by 10:30, I was calling the number. Elise answered. Her voice was soft. She sounded young. Maybe early 20s. Hi, I said. You don't know me, but I think we're dating the same guy. Silence. Then, is this about Tyler? Yeah, she sighed. Like a long breath she'd been holding in. Turns out, they'd been seeing each other since November. He told her he was single. Said I was just a friend who had feelings. Said I was emotionally unstable and couldn't let go. She believed him until now. She told me about a hotel they stayed at on Valentine's Day. About a necklace he bought her. About his promise to finally cut ties with his ex. Me. We talked for an hour. Then I got her email. And I sent her everything Jean gave me. Every picture. Every receipt. Even the lipstick. Elise cried. She kept saying, he told me he was different. He said he hated liars. And that's when we decided. We weren't going to burn him. Not yet. We were going to expose him. So here's how it ended. Elise and I planned everything down to the hour. She was brave. I'll give her that. She didn't run. She wanted revenge just as bad as I did. Maybe worse. We picked a Sunday. Tyler's mom invited him to brunch. Said she wanted to talk, Just the two of them. He agreed. Of course he did, he trusted her. Still thought she was on his side. While he was there, I was at his apartment. I still had a key. Hadn't returned it. He never asked for it back. I let myself in and started packing everything that was mine. And some things that weren't. Things I bought. Things I paid for. The new TV? Mine. The coffee maker I gave him for Christmas? Mine. The record player he bragged about to his friends? Mine too. All boxed up. I didn't trash the place. I didn't need to. Then I left a box on the bed. Inside was the lipstick. A photo of him and Elise at that hotel. And a printed note, typed out in big letters. You lied to me, to her, and to every woman in those photos. You said I was crazy. Your mom knows. Elise knows. We all know. You lost everything because you couldn't tell the truth. Then I went to Jean's house. Elise was already there. She was sitting in the kitchen when he walked in. He froze when he saw us. His smile dropped fast. What is this? Jean stood up. Calm. Dead calm. You want to lie to me? Lie to all these women? You think you're untouchable. He looked at me. Then Elise. This is insane, he said. They're both crazy. You know how women are. Jean slapped him. I swear to God, she didn't even hesitate. Don't you dare use me to cover your filth, she said. You disgust me. He stormed out. Slammed the door behind him. Elise left right after. She was shaking, but she smiled at me before she went. Thank you, she said, for showing me. Later that night, I got a string of texts from him. Angry. Nasty. Swearing at me. Calling me a snake. A traitor. A psycho. I didn't respond. Instead, I sent one last message. Next time you buy lipstick, make sure it's a color I'd actually wear. Then I blocked him. 2 days later, I posted everything online. All the photos. Redacted the faces of the other women. But not his. His name. His picture. All of it. He got roasted. Friends called him out. His coworkers saw it. He deleted all his socials. Disappeared. And me? I got peace. I wasn't perfect. I stayed too long. I ignored red flags. I tried to be cool when things didn't add up. But I learned. I won't ever let someone make me doubt myself again. And Tyler? He'll remember the lipstick. Forever.